Okay, so now we will discuss the features, this product development of Zomato with the Scrum. Okay, Scrum is agile, right? It's implement the agile. So agile and Scrum, like you, now you know the working mechanism of Scrum. So now we will see how the when it was the problem statement in idea phase, how that journey is happening with the Scrum. So problem statement, what might be the problem statement? Let's consider it's 2014 and you are the product manager at Zomato. You have 3 to 4 features like rate, review restaurant, filter for search, online ordering, etc. in line for next release, and you want to go about the development of these features using agile methodology, incremental and iterative way of development. It was just you need to assume yourself as a product manager, and here 3 4 stories features are in front of you, like rate and review restaurant, filter for search, and online ordering. These are the stories and the features which you want to. Yeah, company background, right, that founded by Deepinder Goyal and Pankaj Chadha in 2008, and Zomato is restaurant search and discovery platform providing in-depth information for over 1.4 million restaurants across 24 countries and serving more than 50 million users every month. Its mission is to ensure nobody has a bad meal. And when it comes to restaurant search and discovery, Zomato is indisputably the leader. Top investor include Ant Financial, uh, Square Capital, Temas Holdings, Info Age, and the VY Capital. Okay, Agile हमको पता है what is Agile, right? It's a group of software development methodology. Iterative है, right? Again, it believes on the collaboration between the organizing cross-functional teams, and it's aligned with the Agile manifesto, right? That core manifesto we are all about. We are talking about individual and interaction over process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, responding to change over following a plan. Okay, Scrum, we know this is the lightweight. That's mean overhead of process is kept as small as possible to minimize the amount of productive time available for getting useful work done. Someone has asked me why it is called as a lightweight. So answer for this is like we are keeping over in the sense like we are not giving importance to lot of documentation, right? We believe in maximizing the amount of productivity time, right, and getting useful work done instead of just, you can imagine if you are just showing me, if I ask you to do, if I am your guide, right, project guide, and all the time if you are just presenting me, this is the document, this is our understanding, this is what we learn, but if you are not showing me, no, if you are not running anything, and if you are not showing me any outcome, so that is not productive, right? So I will insist you ki, okay, it's fine, I understood, but you need to be now focus on your productivity, you need to show me the outcome, right? So like, my expectation would be you need to invest your time on doing experimenting the thing, like writing a code and just testing it, right? In similar way, the Scrum believes on like come up with the outcomes, like write the code, test is, show it. It is all we know, right? Scrum framework contain 3 roles: Scrum Master, Scrum Product Owner, Scrum Team. Prioritize backlog containing end user requirements, right? Backlog we are having, sprints we are having, and Scrum events are we are having planning meeting. Planning meeting, what you will like, it's a what, right? So what you are going to do and how you are going to do, what are the different features and how you are going to do. Daily Scrum meeting is there, sprint review and sprint retrospective meeting is there, right? Now let's discuss about this something with the Zomato example, right? So Scrum implementation and iterative steps. Assumption, we will have few assumption that we know from user and market research that online ordering, restaurant review, and search filters are needed. And however, we are not sure about the exact requirements. Okay, अभी तक हमें कुछ picture. You have to uh, go back into those days where Zomato was not the live thing. It was not there. Okay, सो उस टाइम से हम लोग चालू करें, राइट. सो हमने थोड़ा मार्केट का रिसर्च किया, यूजर को क्या चाहिए, राइट. These are the complex features and full functionality cannot be built in a one sprint. That is but obvious, right? एक साथ हम सारा जो हम think करें, that we can't do. So we will therefore follow iterative approach using Scrum to implement the features in phases and make necessary changes in each iteration based on the feedback, right? What, how you can just start with your concept, with your idea. So it just, you have to think pehle kuch karenge, that we will give it to the customer, we will then have a feedback, and depending on feedback we will move further, right? That will give you correct direction. So we will thus have various versions released, right, which changes in all the features in as applicable in each version, right? So you will not, again, if you ask me ki, whatever problem statement you have chosen, whether it's good to implement all the things in one go, in one iteration, so the answer would be no. So you can't do it very precisely and very accurately. So what you can do, just pick up the few features which are prioritized, which is very important, and just work on the same. Try to complete it in every aspect, deliver it to the customer, ask the customer to just use it and give the feedback, and depending on the feedback, whatever inputs you will be getting, just work on the, like, keep in mind that feedback, and when you are trying to complete the next, implement the next feature, try to consider that feedback, okay, which will result in more satisfaction of the customer. So as a part of agile methodology, we need to follow the below steps. Okay, क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to create a list of features we wish to implement for each user story, right? User story will be in front of you, but again, user story ka what you will do, you will be to clear out this user story, what different task you need to clear out. Okay. Okay, so features will be there, and for the feature, number of user stories will be there. Create a list of user story within each feature. Okay, can be one or many. It depends on you, like one feature, one user story, or one feature with multiple user story. It's your choice. These are of the form as a type of user. I want to some goal, so that some reason, right? Or you already have written the story. Add the following details at a minimum for each story. Okay. बहुत ज्यादा स्टोरी में आपको नहीं लिखना. It should be very simple, right? Story point, that is relative effort estimation. So planning focus is something which will help you to come up with the story point, and then priority is the thing, right? Add the stories to the product backlog. Then all the stories you need to put into the product backlog. Have a Scrum planning meeting, prioritize the story, push them to the sprint backlog and into the next sprint as a version 1.0. Okay. Always there will be Scrum planning. So depending on the last sprint feedback, you can reprioritize the story. And if new stories are coming, you can put that into the sprint backlog. Then you have to have the daily stand-up meeting. क्या discuss करोगे? What did we do previous day? What are we going to do today? Are there any issues, red blocks in the way of achieving sprint goals? So that you are discussing daily when you are on the particular sprint cycle. Do a sprint review post spirit completion and deploy the tested and approved changes. Okay. Sprint review meeting will be there. Retrospective meeting should have to discuss Scrum learnings for continuous improvement. What good things you observe that will speed up your next project implementation, that you can just discuss in retrospective meeting. Post deployment, once you deploy your particular sprint, you can have you need to collect the feedback using various techniques, combine with already known, plan feature change, and decide next set of changes for the features. Okay, you just can, once your sprint is released, deploy, you can take a feedback, and depending on feedback you can plan the next thing, and repeat step 1 to 7 to push new version of changes and enhance features. Okay, so you can see this is the product backlog, right? This is the product backlog, and this is the sprint planning, sprint backlog. 1 month का रहता है maximum, 2 to 4 week. Daily scrum meeting, review retrospective, releasable product increment. So Zomato, now let's talk about the Zomato release 1.0. First sprint क्या होगा? Feature list and user stories. Okay. Now let's see. Or online ordering can be one of the feature. So how you can write for this feature, online ordering, how you will be writing the stories. As a user, I want to find nearby restaurant so that I can get get food delivery to my address. Second, as a user, I want to add, remove multiple food items so that I can specify what I want to order. Third, as a user, I want to know how much time food delivery will take so that I know how much I have to wait. Then, because it's related to food, so you must be like, if it's all about the clothes or any other items, the time would not be a great issue. But when it's about food, one must very serious about the time. If you are hungry, so you need it very quickly, right? As a user, I want to call up the restaurant so that I can check the progress. And the fifth one, okay, these all stories are supporting this online ordering, which is related with the customer like you and me. As a user, I want to be able to pay cash on delivery for my food order. Okay, so these are all, this is the features and these are the stories which will cover these features. Then the second feature is restaurant search/restaurant filters. As a user, I want to filter restaurant by cuisine and or restaurant type, cafe, pub, etc., so that I can narrow down my list. Next can be, as a user, I won't be able to filter veg and non-veg restaurants so that I can specify my preferences. So this is related with this feature, search and restaurant filters, right? Search or restaurant filters. So these two stories will implement this feature. Restaurant reviews. Okay. So how you can write the stories for this restaurant review? As a user, I won't be able to rate my experience of ordering on scale of 1 to 5. The second one is, as a user, I want to write my opinion on what I like, did not like, or did not like, right? So this list above provide basic functionality, basic here, right? Once we see there is enough demand for online ordering and access the pros and cons of current set of features, we can enhance such as the below into release 1.1. Okay, ये basic, you can thought of this stories clearing out features in first release, then you can enhance, right? So what B next, version 1.1 in online ordering, what you can enhance. So these are the extra features, right? Stories. As a user, I want to view popular items, right? And food photos of restaurants so that I can better choose my food. So ये enhance है. This was the first feature. Online ordering में, these are the first major 4 things you tried. But if you found that the the feedback is good, right? So you can just come up with the new stories which will enhance this feature. So popular items and the photos, so that it will help to choose the better food. Then as a user, I want to be able to see where my delivery guy is on the route to my address. Simulation, right? Tracking, real time tracking. Then as a user, I want to have flexible online payment options so that I can choose any method of my choice. In first release, you may plan for only cash on deliveries, but people like in second version, like second sprint, you can think of the customer may give you feedback. All the time I'm not having cash, I didn't carry the cash. So there should be other option as well, right? Then search and restaurant filter. So what different enhancement, right? Stories you can add. As a user, I want to filter restaurant by offers and discounts available. As a user, I want to filter restaurant within particular distance of my delivery address, right? So this is something which is not there in first version. This you're thinking in second version, right? Second sprint, you can call it as. And in restaurant review, what as a user, I want to be able to rate my experience on various parameters such as food, delivery, payment, customer service using a scale of 1 to 5, right? पहले इसमें क्या किया, सिर्फ rate, right? How was the service? But now you have categorized the services. How was the food? How was the delivery? So it will help you to identify where are the scope of improvement, right? Then as a user, I want to share photos along with my comments and the reviews. Again, another set of enhancement that can be added could be as follows, like feature list and user story version 2, 1.2. ऑनलाइन ऑर्डरिंग में और क्या ऐड कर सकते हैं? एज अ यूजर आई वांट टू व्यू curtain list or restaurant so that it is easier for me to select a restaurant of my choice. As a user, I won't be able to repeat my previous order with or without modification at the click of button, right? So may, like if I am the regular customer of Zomato, so Zomato should read my uh, pattern, okay, behavior, and he should give me that options readily. I will just want that will save my time, right? If daily I am ordering same food, so why I need to do the steps again and again? As a user, I want to be able to contact the delivery person directly to know the delivery status. So this you can imagine in the third sprint, right? Then search, इसमें क्या enhance करोगे? Search and restaurant filter. As a user, I want to be able to save filters view so that I can quickly apply them again and view updated restaurants of choice. In restaurant reviews, what enhancement can be done? As a user, I want to know the restaurant's recent last 7 to 10 days reviews for its delivery so that I can have the latest information, right? Uska status kya hai restaurant ka? As a user, I want to know the reviews of food bloggers, foodies, so that I know how good a restaurant is. पहले सिर्फ फीडबैक लेते थे, बट अगेन व्हाट यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि उन्होंने उसका एनालिसिस करके अच्छे लाइक फूडीज वाले लोगों का अगर डाल दिया, सो दैट कैन बी योर रियल रिव्यू, राइट? सो इन दिस वे we can see how enhancements are made incrementally to features to ensure deployment time is low, functionalities is not affected, and only the most relevant enhancements are included. Then second thing is क्या करना है? Story points and the prioritization. For the story points, one can have the Fibonacci scale, series scale 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, so on to story point. Okay, so ऑनलाइन ऑर्डरिंग फीचर, ओके, एक फीचर लिया, उसके लिए आपने सारे स्टोरी उसके लिख दिए. So as a user, I want to find nearby restaurant so that I can get food delivery to my address. Okay, as a user, and this you are planning in release 1. Estimation किया, it's required 3 2 1 1 5 8 5 3 3, and priorities decide किया. This need to get released as early as possible, right? And this 4 story related with this features you are trying to plan in release 2, and this last 3 in the release 3. So we can build similar table for search and review feature 2. We then need to conduct sprint planning meeting, add the top stories to the backlog, and get the sprint started. And the steps can be visualized in the below Scrum diagram, right? You can, this is the sprint cycle. Sprint 1 2 3 N. पहले क्या होगा, like प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग अपडेट होगा आपका, राइट, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द फीडबैक. स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग मीटिंग होगा, उसमें से आप पिकअप करोगे क्या करना है. डेली मीटिंग होगा, प्रोडक्ट इंक्रीमेंट होगा, रिव्यू होगा, रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव होगा, एंड रिलीज होगा. रिलीज के बाद फीडबैक मिलेगा. कुछ अगर चेंज करना है बैकलॉग में चेंज करोगे, देन प्लान करोगे क्या क्या करेंगे इधर. इटरेशन. So iteration, after a Scrum sprint is completed, typically 2 weeks, okay, 2 to 4 weeks, and release is done, it is time to capture sprint learning along with user feedback and take up the next release feature list. Okay, depending on feedback, you are just giving thought कि next इसमें क्या करना है. With each increment, we will be delivering an enhanced product to the user without disrupting their experience. Okay, user को कुछ पता नहीं है, disrupt नहीं करेंगे user को, but at the same time we will slowly enhance the product, right? So you can, product का vision है, product definition है, initial release plan है, contractual agreement है. आपने पहला increment किया, go live, feature list #1, go lives डिलीवर किया, फीडबैक लिया, फीचर लिस्ट 2 किया, उसको बना दिया, रिलीज किया, फीडबैक लिया, फीचर लिस्ट 3 किया, बना दिया, रिलीज कर दिया. So this is all about this. So Agile is fast, effective, clean. Everyone know what everyone is doing at all times, and you remain accountable for tasks you choose to do. You work together and communicate constantly, fail fast, and refactor frequently, right? And this Zomato, right, we have discussed, evident in the Zomato example. Scrum allows you to break down the product features in various incremental iteration, allows you to incorporate user feedback and team learnings between 2 iteration. With continuous learning as its central aspect, Scrum provide advantages of increased productivity, better quality, motivated team, reduce and stable cost, and overall higher customer satisfaction.